Hi everyone, this is Tammy, owner of Worthyworthitpriceless, and today's podcast is titled A Heart for the Brokenhearted. This subject is very near and dear to me because I know a lot of times that I've been heartbroken, and no matter where I went, I didn't get the comfort that I was seeking. I didn't get that comfort from friends or anything like that because a lot of times when I was heartbroken, I never told anybody that I was heartbroken. And for some reason, sometimes you just want somebody to see that you're heartbroken, or you'll be like, just say you broke up with someone or someone passed away and you're waiting for somebody to be like, try to give you that comfort or whatever. But it was often in those times that I didn't seek, or I didn't have the comfort from other people, and that God was actually my ultimate comfort. But in this podcast, I want to at least try to give you some encouragement. Two of the heartbreaks that I will actually talk about, one is losing a loved one, and one is losing someone in the relationship. So we'll go to the one as far as losing a loved one. Losing a loved one isn't easy, obviously. A lot of times, especially once you get older, you start losing either your parents or grandparents, or, as you get older. Sometimes it happens earlier, and we don't understand why. Sometimes we know, and sometimes we don't. When my grandmother passed away, it was a shock. I didn't even know she was sick or anything like that. And it was just out of the blue. I got a phone call that she passed away. And it hurt. Obviously it hurt. But the thing about it is, I had to realize is that it was a couple of things. I couldn't ask my grandmother to stay on this earth while she was still hurting, just so I could not live without her, or, at least not have her here, type of thing. For me, that would be selfish of me. My grandma did all that she could do for me. And God allowed us to have a great relationship. There was nothing left unsaid or anything. She knew I loved her and everything else like that. But the thing is, as well, is that I know that God wouldn't take her, or she wouldn't want to leave if I wasn't okay being by myself, type of thing. And I believe that same thing for your loved one. God wouldn't take them if you weren't okay with being by yourself or living without them. And also, another thing is that another way to look at it, is that they needed a better seat. They needed a better view to help you and be there with you at every step of the way. I know we want to hug and love on our parents, grandparents, or whoever has passed away. But God needed them home with Him. There will be more of help to you up there than they would here, in pain and suffering, or whatever the moans and groans of life. And I know it's hard right now to see, especially if you lost someone recently, and you just don't understand why they're not on this earth anymore. But the people that's on this earth, they're only here on loan. And God is going to need them back. But He would never take them away without giving you some sort of comfort. They are okay. They are rooting you on. They're happy for you. And for the most part, I know they wouldn't want you to be upset worrying about them. So take heart and take comfort that the person that you're missing, they would want to be on this earth with you as well. But God needed them home. Enjoy the memories that you have with them and cherish those memories. Keep those close to your heart, but know that they are with you every step of the way. And they are up there cheering you on. Every victory and even your hardships, they're right there in your room, wherever you're crying at. There's that little whisper that's telling you that you're going to make it. They're sitting next to you. They're giving you that pat on the back. They are always there. I know it's easier said than done, and it's one thing to say it now. But have peace in your heart to know that they are at peace. And they would want you to keep going forward. Now, for the people who have a broken heart, however the breakup was, know that God won't take someone away from you if He didn't have better to replace it with. I know that right now, especially if you just went through a breakup, that doesn't help you. I can say this because I've been through a lot. And I've had my heart broken more than once. And I'm not saying that it's easy, because obviously heartbreak is easy. It isn't easy. It, even in the word, is break. But you have to realize that there's more coming. I know that you can't see it now, but it is more coming. And a lot of times you have to get rid of somebody, or God has to get rid of somebody for you to see who you truly are. There's a lot of times things are going on behind your back in relationships that you have no idea about. And it doesn't have to be cheating or anything else like that. But a lot of times God is doing things to try to spare you. And you don't see it right then and there. But God has a plan for your life. I went through something. It was a lot of somethings. And when the dust settled, the other person was living a total different life. He had one life with me, and then all of a sudden he was actually living a different life, having a whole family on another side of town. And I was sitting there and I'm like, why can't we be together? Like, what's going on and all of this? And it's like, oh no, I'm just chilling. I'm not seeing anybody or nothing. And then it comes out that you have a whole family on the other side of town. And I'm sitting there heartbroken initially, because I'm like, we can't be together. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to chill and just wait for you to get your ish together. And it's like, oh, you have a whole family. Okay. It's not funny, but you know what I mean? And that's the thing. A lot of times we're like, okay, you're initially hurt because you can't be with somebody. But what you don't realize, a lot of times that is protection. I had no idea what was going on the other side of town. And doesn't mean that I didn't still hurt or still have pain. But it was God's protection. God is protecting us a lot of times when we think that God is breaking us. And then we get upset because things don't go our way. But it is the whole point that God is protecting us. And you want to get mad. It's like, I just want to be with this person. I don't want to be with anybody else. I just want to be with this person. And God is trying to tell you, I have more for you. God doesn't want you to be with someone that makes you unhappy or makes you miserable or makes you second guess yourself or you can't go to sleep at night because they're not there, but they don't really care enough to actually make that phone call and say, hey, I'm going to be a little late, or don't worry about me, I'm doing this or I'm doing that. God doesn't want you to be unhappy. And he will protect you by sometimes taking people away from you. That girlfriend or that boyfriend that you're doing everything for, and they're not doing anything for you. And I know that it sucks to have your heart broken and you really want to be with that person, but you have to realize that sometimes it is God's protection. God isn't going to take that person away without replacing that person with somebody greater, but you can't see it right now, and I understand. But it's coming. But you have to give yourself a chance and a break, because a lot of times you don't see what's going on behind the scenes. And I know you just want to be with that person, and that's that tunnel vision. But you have to take your blinders off and realize that God has more for you. I know your heart is broken right now, but realize that God has what it takes to fix those broken pieces. I've said this over and over. I left my last relationship with nothing. Nothing. I always call it BBCC. I had my baby, my business stuff, my clothes, and my car. I had nothing. Built up everything for years to leave with absolutely nothing. I didn't know who I was as a person because I was so much built on being what somebody else needed me to be. But God changed everything. And I'm telling you this from experience. I know it's not easy. And then once you're in a relationship where you break up with somebody, they turn into somebody that you never thought they'd turn into. Then somehow they're your enemy. And all of a sudden, there's nothing that you can do right, or this, that, and the third. And all of a sudden, like, they basically hate you for nothing. Or they do you dirty for nothing. That's not your problem. You have to walk away and do what's best for you. And if you have children, do what's best for your children. You have one life to live. Being unhappy is not an option if you can help it. Loving someone who doesn't know how to love you back, that's not your problem. If you realize that and that's not where you want to be, you have a decision to make. I know it hurts, but you'll get through this. I need you to take it one day at a time. You cry as often as you have to. Everybody isn't going to understand your pain, and that's okay. But you have to dust yourself off. Get back in the race. Not saying that you have to date, but dust yourself off. Know that better is coming for you. Just take it day by day. Take a deep breath in. This is not a physical race where you have to hurry up and get into a next relationship and you got to prove something to somebody. Nothing like that. Take time out for yourself. Enjoy yourself. Love yourself. Spoil yourself. Realize that you are free now. You can do whatever you want to do. You don't have to worry about somebody telling you where to go, where to be. Nothing like that. You can enjoy your own space, your own time. It's all going to work out for you. You may not see it right now. I know some of you may be listening to this. You might be crying and everything. You're like, you just don't understand. I do. There was a lot of sleepless nights. There's a lot of tears. And sometimes I used to hate that God would wake me up the next day, because I was like, dude, do you really need me here? Type of thing on certain situations. And I'm glad I never gave up. And that's the encouragement that I want to give you. Don't give up. It's a relationship. You will have more. And hopefully your next relationship won't hurt as bad as this one. and your next relationship will be better. And then you'll be like, you know what? Tammy was right. It's all going to be worth it. Every pain, every tear that you cry, God is counting every single one of them. And when he guides you to the person that is for you, you'll see why you went through everything that you went through. And you will enjoy that person all the more. And you're like, God, thank you that relationship ended. Because I would never met my Prince Charming or the woman of my life. So keep going. God is close to the brokenhearted. He loves you. He cares about you. It's not over for you. It's a breakup. You're going to make it through this. So until next time, always know that you have worth, you have value, you are necessary on this earth. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for listening to this podcast. And until next time, bye.